Welcome, welcome. Today I am going to be playing with semi-abstraction. My name's Emma Hundleby, I'm an artist, designer and teacher, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am going to be stylising and simplifying form. I'm going to be looking at a still life, so vase, jugs and some florals, just something really simple, and I'm going to experiment in my sketchbook and I'm going to draw, I'm going to collage, and then I'm going to take this through to a finished painting. So let's get started. So I played around with drawing out some jug shapes and I played around with perspective. Just want to explain that slightly. So let's say if I was drawing this and I want it to look really realistic, if I could see that much of the inside of my jug, then the base of my jug would be very rounded as well. But I've just flattened it, so I'm playing around with perspective when I do that, and often children will draw like that, and I want it to kind of have that sort of childlike look to it. And I've just played around with jug shapes and I haven't necessarily stuck to, I've drawn a few similar to the ones that I've got, and I've kind of played around with sort of bellowing the base of the jugs, and then I started to play around with some coloured crayons, so just putting stripes and things onto my jug. So I really like this idea of, if I start to just draw onto this one, having some coloured sections around the edge of my jug. So normally when I'm painting, I put a ground on, which is just like a base colour for you to work on top of, and I use a raw umber and then I use it as like an outline. But I just thought, wouldn't it be fun to kind of play around with maybe like a multicoloured ground. So I just kind of tried playing around with the colours around the side of the jug, which is fun. So I'll just show you like quickly like this. I'll show you this later when I'm painting. And then I'm going to get minty sort of colour. Let's see what I've got. I'll do. That one. So look at that. That's a better colour. So and also, like when I'm kind of doing a piece of art like this that's quite playful, I may try not to be too sort of neat and even about my lines either, because I kind of want to sort of get that kind of very sort of free feel to it. But yes, so there's just the beginnings of play and simplifying shapes, and just playing with different sort of shapes of jugs, different patterns and different sort of vertical stripes, horizontal stripes, and little kind of ovally sort of shapes. Really like this one, so I'm going to work on this one more. And then I've done the same with some flower shapes, so I've simplified some flower shapes. I'll move these out of the way. So I'm going to show you some collages that I started to put together, and these are just pieces of play. So there's some more jug shapes I played with, and then I just started to, I had some coloured paper and I drew out some jug shapes and some vase shapes, and then some very stylised flowers, again with these sort of bits of colour around the edges and some different colours, stripes and patterns on the background, because I love stripes, I love spots, I love checkerboards. Even some stripes onto the leaves just to see how that feels, and they're just really simple, but I enjoyed the process and I like trying out the different colour combinations. I love this one, and I'm going to just work on this one a little bit more. So here's my jug, and somewhere here, here they are. is some flower shapes that I cut out, or I've coloured bits of painted paper, and some leaf shapes. I'm just going to kind of try these on to here, see how they look. Always look at a reference. So I've got this lovely little Collins Pocket Guide to Wildflowers, and you can see where I've got the idea for some of the leaves and the foliage, and to look at the flowers and the flower shapes and simplify them down. And you can add, you know, like these swirly whirly bits inside. Just trying to find an example of this one. So like this one's kind of got sort of different segments within it, so it's kind of, you know, you kind of got that feel, only I'm just playing around with colours and putting colours that maybe wouldn't necessarily be there in nature because I'm stylising it. So I'm about to have an experiment. I've drawn out in some coloured pencil the basic design, and I'm now going to fill in the ground. So I'm just going to cover this area, but I want it to be quite multicoloured, but I also just need to make sure that I can still see the shape, so when I come to paint the colour on top I can see which flowers are which and which petals are which, etc. But I will, hopefully that will make sense as you see the demo. I normally put a raw umber ground down, but I've been playing around with the collage pieces and I really like the sort of little bits of coloured, little sort of segments of different coloured edges on it. So I wanted to, this is a literal experiment. I don't know whether it's going to turn out well or not, but it's just, you don't get good art if you don't experiment, and sometimes it goes wonderfully and sometimes it doesn't. So let's just see what happens today. So I've got this far with this painting. It's not quite finished, but I wanted to just get this video out to you. The oil paint is taking, on this particular section where I want to put the polka dots, is taking longer than I wanted it to dry. Obviously one of the downsides, I love working in oils, but obviously the dry times are longer than if you're just working in acrylics. So I'm going to have to wait maybe a few more days at least for this to dry to put the polka dots in. So I'm just going to get this video out to you, and what I'll do is when I've completed it, I'll put it onto another video for you so you can see it completed. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do like, subscribe and press the notification button. I'm a new channel, I'm very little, and the more subscribes and thumbs up I get and comments, that just makes a world of difference to me being able to continue to do lots of these videos. So, but for today, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you for the next video. Take care, bye!